Imagine that you're walking across campus to your evening class. You look up to see a parade of hundreds upon hundreds of your naked peers jogging by wearing little more than shoes. This is almost exactly what happened on March 7, 1974 on the CU Boulder campus. Streaking is a worldwide phenomenon that everyone will experience in their lifetime in one way or another. So it is important to see through the accusations to the naked truth about streaking. History can teach us very many important lessons about life in general, and as well as lessons about the humor and good nature of people. The incident at CU was an event that did both of these things. Today, we will examine why the CU Boulder streaking event happened, the specifics of the night of the event, and the repercussions that occurred after the event had concluded. First, let's take a look at why the event occurred. During the 1970s, many people in communities, particularly colleges, were streaking for different arguable reasons. In the Nation Takeoff, a Time magazine article from before the bulk of the streaking fad had taken place, it stated that streaking was catching on among college students and other groups. In It Beats Rocks and Tear Gas, Bill Kirkpatrick describes the impetus for streaking as seen by the media as being nothing more than a silly diversion. Certainly, CU's big streak fits into this category, as when I interviewed Rob Irwin, he stated that the reason for the streak was just for fun and just to have something to do. However, the streak itself would end up setting a record. Others still said that the fad was a way to return to the normal college campus that was before the Vietnam War and the protests that had taken place on campuses. In an alternate offering of an analysis, Bill Kirkpatrick said that the campus had become a dangerously politicized space, and that streaking was a way to go back to normal college hijinks. Now that we've seen why streaking events often occur, let's take a look at what happened the night of the event in Boulder. On March 7, 1974, people gathered in their dorm rooms and common areas just before the set time. The plan was circulated by word of mouth, and the organizers had anticipated at least 1,000 participants, as reported by the Associated Press. However, the actual amount of the streakers that night totaled 1,200, earning the streak the record for largest mass streak, as Kirkpatrick accounts in It Beats Rocks and Tear Gas. The 1,200 participants took a winding route around the campus, hitting many of the popular areas. They started at an athletic field where many of the spectators had gathered to see the participants off. From there, they went to the campus rec center and into the swimming area, where the Associated Press reported many streakers would cool off after their run. Rob Irwin recounted running through the pool area and seeing lap swimmers stop mid-stroke and stare at the passers-by. From there, they went to the old section of the campus before people started peeling off to get back to their clothes. When Rob did so, he said that he tripped in one of the trough gutters that were all around campus, scraping up his whole naked left side, as he imagined many of the other 1,200 participants had done. Now that we know the specifics of the night the Boulder event happened, we'll examine the repercussions that followed the conclusion of the event. After the run of the 1,200 participants, the Associated Press reported no arrests. This may seem odd, but it stands to reason that because the Boulder event didn't have any political connotations attached to it, that there was not as much media coverage and thus not as much impetus for prosecution. And certainly, the streak violated many laws, as the Colorado Attorney General's website listed many that were technically violated, not the least of which was indecent exposure. However, the Associated Press reported a Boulder district attorney as saying it was the classic example of the victimless crime. As a result of the 1974 streaking fad, many laws were reformed, specifically ones on college campuses. Detailed in It Beats Rocks and Tear Gas, reformations focused on the distinction between student and non-student participants, and on the location of the streak residing on or off the campus perimeter. It advocates for the distinction as helping to decriminalize streaking and actively made the campus a site of youthful hijinks. History can teach us many good life lessons, as well as tell us humorous stories of our parents and grandparents. As we have seen, the events leading up to the CU Boulder Streaking event were purely lighthearted and not malicious in intent, as was the mentality surrounding the majority of the streaking events during the 1970s. The specifics of the night tell us that the 1,200 students rounded their school's campus as the crowds cheered them on. This mentality of such lighthearted exhibitionism led to no repercussions for those who participated that night. As we leave class today, I hope we can all see the humor in such playful and harmless events, such as the huge streak in Boulder. So, next time you see a world record-setting group of naked people running past you on your way to class, or on your way to a concert, or on the television, please cheer them on.